Howdy, what's up, guys? So, let's see, let's go over to Minecraft so it actually shows the right window. All right, let me get the link for the stream. So basically what I was doing right now, not first, first was Abram Gamadi, which no one cares about first, but if you wanted the correct answer. Hold on, let me find the link for the stream, and then I'll get this up and running for everyone. Oh, yeah. Just getting the link right now. All right, there's that. I'm pulling it up on my phone as well. It's annoying. 92. Yeah. All right. So how are you guys doing today? All right. Got that. Cool. So for today's video, oh, it's actually still showing this, shouldn't it? Yeah, there we go. All right. So what I want to do for today's stream is basically we're going to be going over update prep ideas. So I can see here what I've been doing this last like hour pretty much is going over every item in the game right now. And why we're doing that is we're trying to specifically things that they've released in this last update, the economy thread, and how you can actually make money from that. So I decided to stream it because I'm sure there's items that I'm going to be missing. It'd be fabulous. Perfect. That's great, Crystal. So the idea here is when they've like been going over that they want to make Skyblock income balanced, right? Like they want everyone to have like a way to make money with every kind of item, right? So they don't want Slayer to be completely useless. They don't want Zealots to be useless. And so you can see the solution, you know, for all this stuff, not imbalanced stuff. But the main thing that I'm focused on for this is item sinks. So they already have the museum, right? And that's a sink. But what I think they're going to be doing is either adding more crafting recipes to old items or a way that you can redeem them for something. Like, I mean, it's a sink. So they're trying to take items out of the economy. And why I'm streaming this is I want to be able to think of items that are relevant enough that they're actually going to be removed. Like I've been going through the list here and I have a decent amount of items that I think there's a chance they'll actually update because, you know, they're not going to add a use for every item, you know, magma armor, heat armor, goblin armor. They're probably always going to be completely useless, but there's going to be a few items that they will update to have uses. And armors, I haven't really seen a ton of, but that's the whole idea for this stream and then the video I'm going to make on this in a second. So, you know, we're just going to go through this all and see what you guys think. Emerald armor, I think they could. So here, I'll tell you guys, or I'll show you guys. Let me go into full screen. All right. What I think there's a good chance is going to be used either as a direct item or to craft items. That's like a fairly safe thing to invest in for now. So, we've got cheap fire protection 6 books for 100k. This is just going to be part of the video, but I mean, that's already something I made videos on. Blaze pets, again, the more that blaze rods go up in price, the more confident that pets are going to be a good value. Because like, if you look at how much it costs to make a pet, it's 26 mil, right? And you can buy them for like 7 mil. I wouldn't buy any right now. Update's still a long ways off. They're kind of expensive. Just hold off. I'm just making this video for entertainment, but for this stream, we're just going to be going over everything. So grilled pork, the idea for this is not just techno, but actually for the silk edge and pigment sword. Sorry, not for silk edge, just for the pigment sword. The idea there is we're trying to think of items that they're going to add item sinks to. Pigment sword is one that has no use right now. It's very underpriced. And I'm trying to think of items that the admins would add an item sink to try and increase the price of that item. The pigment sword is relevant enough. I think there's a chance, but that's why I'd say invest in pork because it's actually cheaper to just buy the crafting amount of pork rather than buying a penguin sword on the auction house. So there's that. Blaze minion is not very good. The next item is slime blocks. This is either for slime bows, which are underpriced compared to the crafting recipe. So this is a fairly good investment for that. Or just buying slime bows, because I think you can get them cheaper than just to craft them. Magma bows as well. You can get super expensive ones for cheap. Mosquito bows, same kind of idea. Items that they're going to add item sinks to. Probably not a fully maxed one like this, because this will probably never pay off. And then this is for the update, Swarm. When the item comes out, I'm trying to think of what items are going to be useful no matter what. Swarm is pretty much, no matter what, going to be the best enchantment, or ultimate-ish enchantment that you can have. I don't know why this one doesn't say it's an ultimate on this, but you know it is. And then the Silk Edge Sword, same with the Leaping Sword. Both of those are super cheesable, right? Everyone knows that when you spam Silk Edge Swords, like when Floor 6 first came out and it was impossible to do, they perma-stun stuff. Same with mythic creatures, and I can guarantee at release, if this video I make on it doesn't get too popular, they will be able to cheese whatever the future update holds, right? It's a fairly safe investment because they're cheaper than craft price as well, especially if you get like ultimate Ys on them. But yeah, they're going to be able to cheese the update. But other than that, what I'm trying to do is, if you guys have any other ideas for what items are going to be able to be like, they're going to add an item sync to, right? So based on what I've gone through so far, it's mostly just been this list here. Yeah, I haven't seen too many items that that like are relevant enough but aren't crazily underpriced. I think, sorry, one that I did think of but I didn't put in here for some reason is the Slayer drops, right? So Digested Mosquito, I think there's a very high chance that they're going to add an item sync to that. So probably it's going to be a talisman, like how we have the Reaper talisman. Something to raise the price of this a little bit to make Slayer a little more rewarding. So I'm trying to think of the main, like there's Slayer, there's the End, there's Dungeons, and then there's the Overworld. Slayer's pretty balanced right now for Wolf Slayer. Spider Slayer is not, which is why I think there's going to add something for Digested Mosquito. They already have items for Zombie Slayer, and I think it's pretty well priced with Warden Helmet and everything. Hi, Synapse. All right, so does anyone have any other ideas for things that I could have possibly missed for this? Because I'm just trying to go over, like, Emerald Armor. There's definitely a chance they're going to add a reason to grind for Emerald Armor. The problem is, I don't think you can, like, I don't think it's actually underpriced. Like, if I go into full screen again, go back into Minecraft, pretty sure you can't even buy Emerald Armor for cheaper than craft price, right? Or can you? Is it even on the auction house? Oh, 900k, but, let's see. I think it's cheap to craft. It's just 24 in total. Yeah, it's just 24. So we can do a little Yeah, so it's not really underpriced compared to the craft price of that. Admin souls. I'm trying to think of not really admin souls, like base items of the game, like core gameplay elements that are for some reason completely worthless, right? One of those is obviously Digested Mosquito. It's like an entire Slayer, like it's just all of Spider Slayers pretty much useless because the high tier item, Digested Mosquito, doesn't have a use. I was thinking of like the Queen Stinger and all of the new bows, but those are actually pretty expensive. Like they're pretty well priced, I think, for what they are. Spider 5, they might. I think there's a lot of reasons that these are a good investment long term, but I don't know what Necromancer swords are kind of underpriced. Same with because they're rarer than a giant sword or the same rarity, but they're cheaper than chest price sometimes. So I don't know. Because overall they're only trying to balance whole gameplay elements, and that would be just floor 6 in general, and floor 6 in general is kind of well priced because of the giant sword, so I don't know if they're going to do anything different for there. Speaking of that though, what floors are crazily undervalued. Obviously, bonemerangs are undervalued in comparison to how hard they are to get. I don't know if they're actually gonna do anything for that because it's floor 4 and it might be like irrelevant enough as a core gameplay element that they're just gonna remove it. Discord ping, yo, Pars, what's up? Beheaded Horror. Yes, they might do stuff with that actually. Like the completely useless Slayer drops. So like Beheaded, I mean those are like free, right? But everyone invests in these. I think there's people with like hundreds and hundreds of these. Zombie armor. Yeah, zombie armor kind of. What else for that? Dang. All right. That's annoying. Okay. What else is there? There's the Wolf Slayer armors, right? Like the Armor of the Pact. I think there's a chance that'll get reworked, but probably not. Bin flipping is more profitable in my opinion than auction flipping. Auction flipping has so much demand that it's very hard to win them with any real margin, unless you're too rich that no one can like compete with you. Like you're bidding on Terminators, and there just might not be enough people that can actually bid on Terminators to win them. But for lower priced items like Necron armor and that kind of stuff, there's too much demand. What's about the update? So we're mostly focusing on the design thread 7, how they're going to be adding item syncs to specific parts of the game, like how they're soul binding end armor and that kind of thing. So buying it now is they increase the drop chance so much that I doubt it'll really be worth anything right now. But for what update? This is just the 1.0 design thread. So it's not any, like, it's going to come out with the Nether update. So like mid 2022, they say early. It's probably going to be mid. But yeah. Let's just go over this again. So a lot of money making methods, activities they're trying to rework. It's a bit hard to balance it all. Yeah, I mean, so the whole point of this is they're trying to balance making everything worthwhile, which does mean foraging is one that's completely valueless pretty much. It makes no money. They might add item syncs to that somehow. I mean, there's items that are good to invest in just for the future, like the elephant pet and, well, not even the elephant pet, acacia wood, and then by proxy, that does invest in the elephant pet. Stuff that'll get reworked, but just item syncs, I guess, I don't know, just all the woods in general, maybe, but because they're trying to make everything more worthwhile, and foraging is definitely not worthwhile in the slightest right now, but I don't know how they'd go around that, or how they'd go about doing that. Because I feel like this thread is kind of like, it says they're going to do a lot, but I doubt they're actually going to do a lot. Foraging it doesn't make very much money, though, compared to almost anything else in the game, for the amount of time it takes and the amount of concentration. Gas tiers, though that's a good thing to invest in, maybe, but not really something they're going to add an item sync to, because it's not something people do anyway. I'm trying to think of things that people are forced to do because they have to, which is kind of what they're doing. Like, you're forced to grind zealots, but it's not really something that they're enjoying, and it's not something that's easy to balance. Yeah. Oh, so the third solution, automatically balance the price of some items based on their actual offer and demand. So that would be an interesting thing. I don't know how they're going to go about it, but I think it means that NPC shops, you aren't going to be able to bizarre flip stuff, basically. And it's probably going to mean, yeah, you're not going to be able to sell stuff to the NPCs to profit because the prices are going to be the same as the actual demand. And it's going to mean that like if you can buy items from NPCs, the price might go up if the price in the auction house is higher. It does mean though that if someone with a lot of money manipulated something to make it seem like for a couple weeks there was no demand, you could get the NPCs to sell items for cheaper than they actually should be. Because I'm assuming they wouldn't automate this, right? It's going to be like an admin would actually manually change the price of something like every couple weeks. Because otherwise that would be like if it just did the average price of, I don't know, Daedalus axes on the auction house over 24 hours. And then if that happened, then the price of gold would change. Because I would get manipulated so easily. But I think it's going to be like once every couple weeks they'd rebalance prices. Might buff events. Yes, they will buff events, I think. No one does them because they're kind of useless at this point. Especially like the spooky event and stuff. They really like the spooky event. I'm not sure which admin or if it's a couple, but they've done a lot with the spooky event. They've just done a lot. The idea that it's not just a fishing update, that it's not just like you can kill mobs for candy, but then also they reworked it again, and then they reworked it a second time to add the spooky armor. They're definitely going to try and make that more profitable. I mean, it already is profitable, but more profitable than it is already. Because most people don't go out of their way to like log on during a spooky event or log on during a Jerry workshop. Frozen Blaze. I think Frozen Blaze is a decent investment, but they've already announced that they're going to add the new best items in the game, like armors and swords. I don't know if they're going to add any pets. I'd assume they won't. So I'd say the Blaze pet would be better because it's like Blaze armor's probably going to get outclassed, but the Blaze pet is just going to be the best in the Nether for now. So, I mean, don't overpay for them, but at the same time, I think it's a safer investment. That's why I've always... I have quite a few Blaze pets on this account, and then I have like 100 on my other account. More mares with more events. Yeah, I think so too. So if anyone missed it, the items that I think are pretty safe for the Nether that like they're gonna add sinks to is like mosquito bow. They're probably gonna add a item sink to that to make and digest mosquito to make Spider Slayer more useful. Leaping sword and silk edge sword probably is gonna be safe to invest in before the Nether update, because unless they're all bosses that can't be stunned, if there's areas like how the floor 6 boss room was or floor 5 was, where you're going to be able to cheese them, or even how mythological creatures were, I think there's a lot of cheese potential with silk edge swords. Because they never fixed them when floor 6 came out. They fixed the endstone sword, right? How you could go invulnerable, because that was more broken, but this is still broken. You have to have a second person spam it for you, or 2 people, and then 1 person attacking the whole time. But it's just perma-stun. 1 second cooldown with a 1 second stun. Should buy many of the new armor and sword before they buff or patch or add a new update. What do you mean by new armor and sword? Like when the update comes out right away and buy them right as the update drops? I don't think you should do that because things are usually overpriced on release. The only thing that's ever gone up afterwards, I think, was I think Hyperion, because no one knew what that was, and that was like such a crazy step up. And then I think not even Terminator, right? I think that was it. It was just like Hyperion that went up in price after release. Yeah, when Master Mode came out. Can't you still do that, Angry Pineapple, though? I'm pretty sure they never fixed it. Like, they never nerfed it for any of the modes. So that's what I mean. I think they will nerf them if they're useful, but I don't think they'll be nerfed at release. Like, I'm sure they're gonna miss them. Unless, like, an admin's watching this right now, but I doubt that. Yeah, you can. So that's my point. I think these are gonna be broken on release, and if there's potential for cheesing, these will be a pretty good investment. Especially because it's not something anyone else has already thought of right now. Don't overpay for them. You can craft them. These are craftable items. Don't overpay for them. You can craft the Leaping Sword, which has the same ability for what, 24 of this, which is 1.5 mil. So don't overpay. And then the other one is 48, which is 3 mil. So with ultimate wise, this should only cost like 5 or 6 mil. So yeah. What is update? 1.0. So we're just going over, because I was trying to think of everything that they could add a coin sync to, or an item sync to, and I'm sure that I was missing some, because I did pull up the wiki, right? And oh, I was on the wrong thing. I did pull up the wiki, and I've been going through every item in the game. Like I went through all the armors, all the swords, talisman. They're not going to add syncs to. They're already pretty well priced, but because the thing is that I guarantee they're going to do more than they will actually do. Like they're trying to make like salvage any item for essence. Yeah, so they're gonna try and add like an essence thing or something around that idea where they're gonna add essence values for stuff that'll be worth more than the actual item right now is. But the trick is just trying to think of what is underpriced right now. Quartz a good investment for another update. Okay, so we can go over the items that I'd wanted to like that. It's kind of funny. The last items that I want to update, like coal, look at that. It's up to 130k. It was down to 95k recently. Iron's back up above almost 250k. This was 180k a couple weeks ago. Gold's going up a bit again. Quartz is a pretty good investment still for the Nether update. It's not that expensive right now. Necromancer helmet, it's kind of underpriced, but actually, you know what? If they add an essence system, right, like they hinted in that thread, that's probably a good investment. I'd say it's actually a fair price for now because you can unlock it so easily from, like, it's the second reward from the boss collection, which is why they're always so cheap. But if they add a essence system, right, they're probably going to overvalue these. So it's worth buying a couple because these are pretty stable. They're worth like 100 to 300k for the helmets. So don't pay anything above 300k because that's overpaying. I think there's definitely a chance for the Necromancer sword itself because it's rarer than a giant sword, but is definitely not worth going for. It's usually worth less than chest value even. Same with maybe bone emerangs. I feel like that's probably going to be around the value that they balance it for. We'll go over a whole update prep in a second. Right now I'm just trying to brainstorm what items that are in the game right now do you think are underpriced? And it's because they're useless, right? Like they cost more. Either you can buy them in the auction house for significantly less than it costs to craft them, or actually no, that's what this whole thing is. Like either the time it takes to get the item or the materials it takes to craft the item are way more expensive. Did he give out a ton of these or something? Interesting. 292, 293. Yeah, he gave out a lot. 299. Wow. Doctor gave out a ton of these. Doctor's rich. 1.0 update. So what items in the game right now are way more expensive to craft than you can buy them for? That's kind of why I really like blaze pets. You can't craft these for anywhere near 7 mil, right? Like even if especially with the price of blaze rods keeps going up and up, these 64, 27 mil, obviously you can upgrade these with cat, and so the value of this is just whatever a legendary one is, so it's like 50% of that. But even still, they're only a quarter craft price, so I think they're a pretty safe thing for another update if they're useful. Again, that's not everything's like certain. I don't know for sure that they're going to be used, but I think it's worth taking it. Got 48 people here. Cool. Savage Livid Daggers. 1.0 is coming out mid 2022, so it's going to be like 4 months or something. I'm just trying to think about, because as they update, like they narrow in on exactly what the update's going to be, and they update more exact things. What people invest in is like the items are actually going to start going up in price more to where you might not be able to make money. That's kind of why I'm trying to do this now, because if it's a week before update and they've already released teasers and it's on the alpha network and you know what items you need, the price is already going to be expensive. It's like trying to buy Hyper Catalyst the day before Derpy comes. Like, it's too late. Netherrack, there's definitely a chance. Yeah, I think it's too late to invest in Nether Blaze Rods, for sure. There's a chance you'll still make money, but I don't think it's worth the risk with the price. That's why I say Blaze Pets. I personally like epic Blaze Pets, not legendary. And if you don't want to know a trick to make these make more money, add a singular max pet candy to them. It'll make them level 60. They'll sell a lot faster than a level 1. Especially because so many people have these. I mean, I don't know how many epic Blaze Pets there are. There still probably aren't enough for everyone when the update comes out, so they'll still go up in price, but Netherrack is definitely a very safe investment because it's so cheap. Yeah, they're 9 mil, and craft one, it takes 20 mil. Yeah, but you have to think they're not worth 28 mil just because they craft for 28, because you can upgrade them with cat to legendary. So you have to subtract that. They're not worth the 28 mil because you can upgrade them to legendary. So it's like, what does a legendary blaze cost? Did I just type legendary? I did. I definitely did not mean to. Okay. 41 mil. So you can craft. So they're worth like 13 mil right now with just the price of that. Yeah, so yeah, they're worth like 13 mil. Just a little much, but I'd say if you buy them for under 7, 8 mil, you're like pretty certain to make money. I don't know. I doubled down the last time that I logged on because Blaze Pets were 4 to 5 mil, and I was just like, oh my god, that's crazy. So I bought all of them on the auction house. Hey, Nia. Random Protectronon, rip 1600 of 1600 hours? Oh, dang. Yeah, Netherrack definitely has a potential. Blaze hats. Blaze hats are not going to go up in price. Again, Netherrack is pretty cheap. It probably won't go down much more in price. They're going to add a use for it of some kind, but I bet it's going to be useless, right? It's going to be like how pumpkins are. I bet it's going to be around the same kind of price. Well, I guess pumpkins did go up a bit in price. Think of Netherrack as similar to pumpkins. I think they're going to probably go to around, or add items that are around as useful as the farmer's gear. So they'll probably go up to like 600, 700. But their Netherrack is definitely has no chance of being a real crafting recipe. Like, it's not going to be used in any meta items for the update. Blaze armor upgrade? Maybe. But again, I don't know. Blaze armor, I think it might be done. They've already added an upgrade to it. I think it's going to stay how it is. They might add a pigment armor or something. Oh, yeah, speaking of that. Oh, what's up, Dwarven Mines? What I was going to say, not critical. That's also critical. Smite. This is pretty cheap right now. And if you notice, Withers, Skeletons, and Zombie Pigmen are both, like, that's all stuff that is in the Nether. I mean, you have the, not Withers, but you have Wither Skeletons. Zombie Pigmen. There's a chance this is useful. I don't really see them adding a ton of Zombie Pigmen items, but maybe. The problem here is that this doesn't increase damage to blazes, so I don't know. I feel like it's not really going to be worth investing too much money in this for anyone, because I think blazes are going to be the real boss of the Nether, not Zombie Pigmen. So like, you're going to want to have sharpness, not smite, because sharpness actually affects it. But I mean, I obviously bought a couple because I think it's worth having some money in it because there's a chance, but take that with a grain of salt, right? Gassed armor coming soon? Oh, it does. But how? Yeah, it's only tier 7 though. It's only 10k. They do have a thing at 50k though. Okay. You know what? There's definitely a chance for that. Investing in grilled pork, I think it's a good idea. I don't think it's as likely to be added this update as everything else. I think it's a good investment, but like, I mean, just to prove my point, I just put up 1,000 item order for it like a couple minutes ago, so I definitely think it's a good investment. But I don't think it's going to come out with this update. I think most people probably aren't patient enough to wait until then. Because like people, when I come out with videos on like, oh, you know, Blaze update investments, they're like, but that's coming out in like 2023. And I'm like, yeah, I know, that's the point. It's like when I invested in catalysts before Derpy when they were 70k originally. Like literally the day after Derpy ended and they dropped last Derpy, I invested in them because I knew they were going to go up eventually. Isn't it risky investing in tier 7 books? It is. It definitely is. If they add tier 8s, all of those are like done. Remember what happened to tier 6 books? They just died. So you do have to like, there's definitely risk to it, especially because I'm not an admin. I don't have any of the insider information that they have. I'm pretty I believe I'm right on these, and I have been right on most of the things in the past, but not everything. So, you know, it is just my thoughts on the matter. Again, let's see. What was I doing? Yeah, tier 7s, they'll definitely die in price if... Probably better idea to invest in pork below... Yeah, 150k is a good price for pork, and it probably will get that cheap. Oh, bad streamer. Sad. New enchant? What do you mean? If they add a new enchant, like for blazes, then that would probably be good to invest in. Smite's just pretty cheap right now. Like, it's 1.2 mil or something, so it's worth buying a couple, I think. But again, the point of this stream, guys, let's think of items that are going to potentially, like, not potentially, but items that right now are way underpriced compared to like their craft cost. I think that's the main thing that we can get off of the design thread 7 is they're trying to add essence and some kind of equivalent to make items at least worth crafting, like at least make them worth attaining them, so that selling them on the auction house isn't a loss. So perfect armor used to be like that. The one guy said necromancer helms. I think that's pretty likely. They're probably going to add, well, they already have essence for all that stuff, so they might not add anything for catacombs itself. I think, anyway, either way, I think there's probably a good chance for like necromancer helms, that kind of thing. Flower of Truth. Purple Jerry box. Yeah, I'm not trying to focus on like investing in most items right now for this video or this stream. We're just trying to think of specifically this design thread 7. So based on that, like what items are too cheap based on how much effort it takes to get them. I'd say based on that, probably stuff like glowstone. Oh, it's gone up a lot. How much glowstone do I have? Let us look. Specific window. Let's look in the fund. Even though I haven't been as active with the fund, I still, like to look. So we have 3,000. Okay, that's not a ton. 3,000 blocks. But this was 210 mil. Let's see how much that would be worth. 273. So that's 63 mil profit. That's cool. But I'm not selling now, so it's not really profit because I'm not selling. Enchanted blaze rods for another update. I would say it's too late to do the blaze rods. I think that blaze rods are the risk reward on them isn't really there anymore. When they dropped to like 230k right after the Nether update teasers, that was a good time when I made my first video on it. But I think they're fairly well priced right now. I don't know. Especially with all the dupes. You have to remember, a lot of them got duped. If they hadn't been duped and they were less in the economy, I would say yes. But for now, I'd say hold off if you haven't already. Enchanted pack dice. I mean, they've already gone up a bit. Enchanted pack dice. That's snow. Where's ice? This has already gone up, but there's a chance. I think they're gonna focus more on the Nether itself theme and less like Nether and ice kind of thing, which is what Frozen Blaze is. I think they're gonna focus more on Nether itself. So like obsidian, glowstone, which this has already gone up in price, so maybe hold off on investing in that for a little bit. Coal, which also this went up in price recently, but I don't know, it's still pretty cheap. Right, so like coal, glowstone, obsidian, quartz, netherrack, kind of. I mean, you'll probably make money, but you have to remember, it's only a 300 coin item, so even a 70,000 max order is only 25 mil. So even if this doubles in price, you're only making 25 mil, and that's like, it's not amazing. Gas tiers are probably a really good investment. I think they've already gone up in price a ton, haven't they? Well, not really. But again, this is another cheap one. I think they're probably worth doing. I'll put in a 70,000. Again, the thing with stuff like that is they're hard to get orders to fill, especially now that no one abuses gas minions. There's not very much supply on these. Super enchanted eggs are pretty stable, but if they add a new pet that outclasses like the blaze pet, there's a good chance that they'll go up in price a lot more. That one's less likely. I don't think they're going to add a pet, so that's why I haven't really pushed it that much. Ember Rod, pretty much no chance. Ember Rod is done. Ember Armor is also done. I'd say those are just kind of done items. So again, with this whole system though, they're not going to add essence, or they're not going to make every item useful. What else is underpriced? Zombie armor, probably. Let's see. What can you craft it for? So 370,000. Okay. Let's see. 370,000 divided by 160, 2312, and then let's see what that costs out of rotten flesh. 2312. So that's 2.5 mil. That's probably fairly priced. That is what it's called, right? Just zombie armor? Yeah, it is. I guess no one uses it. Oh, it's just zombie chest plate and stuff. Okay. The wiki misled me. Zombie chest. Zombie. Alright, it's probably leggings, right? What is it? Zombie legging. Is none of these on the auction house? Yeah, okay. That's not even on the auction house, so no way to really make money off that. Zombie boots. I don't think they are. I mean, unless I misspelled zombie. Alright. Oh, you need to actually type the whole thing. Interesting. You didn't have to for, like, Shadow Assassin. So never do that. Okay, well, if you need to type the whole thing. So, 600k versus the craft price of that is what? Crafting. It's... This is the cumulative. Oh, okay, boots. 514 enchanted. Okay, so that's like 500k. Okay, that's fairly priced, to be honest. That's fair. So that's not really worth investing in. You remember when Blaze Rod crashed? Yeah, I already sold all my Blaze Rods after they crashed. I think I sold them for like 290k because I bought them at like 150k. I could have waited more, but it was just, there were so many dupes, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. Do you think Soulflow will be used in the new Nether items ability? Oh, it probably will. But I'm not sure what normal Soulflow prices are. So, Soulflow, 21k. Let's see. Bizarre Tracker. It's been abused so much that there we go. I don't know if you can even look stuff up on it anymore, really. I used to love this website, but now everything's behind a paywall. Okay. Total overview. Okay, this is the 2-month history, though. Okay, that's better than what they used to show. So this is kind of, I mean, it's gone up quite a bit recently, but it's not horrible. Let's see. Yikes. Sorry, I'm looking at stock market very quickly. Did very bad today. Stuff is doing very bad. So that's fun. Anyway, Soulflow. I think there's a good chance that it'll be used, but I don't know if there'll be enough demand that it'll actually go up in price. Because you have to remember, Nether update, it's going to be very end game at first, at least for the best items, and they don't really add Soulflow items, or they haven't, to anything that most people could use. So there's going to be very little demand for it. Enchanted Blaze Rods, I wouldn't invest in Enchanted Blaze Rods for now. Anyway, so I guess the main things we picked, like that I've thought of from this is we'll do a kind of total overview for my main ideas from the design thread 7. So yeah, it is showing this. Okay, cool. Again, passive income is always going to be part of it. So they might add more features. That means minions might actually get buffed, which is kind of nice. Isn't Magma Cream going to get a 3rd enchanted item? If it does, that would be very good for Magma Cream prices. Because right now they are... Oh, they crashed recently. But they are an NPC price kind of thing. Trade apples. Well, we're trying to go over the stream right now, so... I know. No contraband right now. Hypixel stock market doing? I mean, the actual exchange is pretty stagnant because I haven't been actively flipping, so prices don't change too much other than Blaze Pets on the day-to-day. But anyway, so for the update, things that we'll go over a total, I mean, if you haven't watched all my videos kind of thing. Also, like, I completely forgot to sell these during Derpy. I was so sad. It didn't profit a ton, but speaking of that, I should probably sell these actually. There's no point to have it all. Okay, so my opinion, Fire Protection 6, if you buy it for around 100k, pretty likely to be used. I mean, there's almost no chance they don't incorporate this some way, and if they don't, that's a big oversight by Hypixel to not make Fire Protection used in the Nether update. Very dumb if they don't. I would not buy Fire Protection 7, very overpriced right now. I have all of these books, all of these Fire Protection 7s, and I got them for 5 to 7 mil. So they're like 20 mil on the auction house, so definitely don't buy them now. Hyper Catalysts, I think there's a chance that they'll go up in price when the update drops if they add a new minion for something, which they probably will actually. But I think you could wait another week and these will go down more, is my thinking. I think these will drop to around 100k. I don't think they're going to go down to the 70k they used to go to, but maybe around 100k. And then these will probably get to 115. So buy these around 110 to 115k, and they might be used. I doubt it, though. Like, I doubt that they're going to be people farming minions to get the new items from the update. I don't think it's going to be a replay of the end update, because that was kind of a... Oh, yeah, Terminator can kill everything. I feel like that was an oversight on their part, that you just, like, do a ton of Hyper Catalysts on Quartz minions and make 200 mil in a day kind of thing. Yeah, foraging is coming out before the Nether update, or at least that's what they'd originally hinted at. I don't know if that's still happening. Originally, they'd hinted that the Nether update was going to be coming out after foraging rework, which is actually why originally I think that going for Acacia, because Acacia wood crafts the elephant pet, and if they reworked foraging, there's a good chance they'll rework a completely useless pet as well. And this was like almost around an NPC price. It's gone up a bit more, but as you can see, I have some of it sold. So I have 140k of Acacia I got for 400k and then 469k. So I guess that's around this price. Okay, that's not much more than I paid for it. That's probably worth investing in just in case, because for the foraging update, you have to think enchanted obsidian's pretty solid. So tree capitators, if they rework it, they're more likely going to add another item and not make the tree capitator more useful. So I wouldn't invest in those really. Yeah, enchanted grilled pork chops are a good investment. I think they will go up. Probably not for a while though. Like I think that's one of the longer term updates. But anyway, yeah, this is the whole thing I'll go over. But anyway, so let's stick on foraging because that's what I was on for a second. I think most of the wood isn't going to go up in price if there was an update. If anything, it would go down because there's going to be more people foraging. I think the ones that might go up in price are the ones that are the cheapest, which kind of makes sense. But birch is used for sacks right now, which, I mean, I guess it has a use and it's so cheap. So maybe mostly focus on acacia. It has no use right now in the game. Dark oak does, but it's the most commonly foraged, so it's probably going to stay cheap. I'd say acacia is the one that has high potential to go up. It's already using the Savannah bow and elephant pet. And so if you buy this, then you're indirectly investing in elephant pets, right? Because if they get fixed and make them useful somehow, then this will go up too because you can craft them with it. So I think this is safer than like buying elephant pets because maybe they're like, I actually just want the elephant pet to stay useless, or it wasn't really a good item to begin with. And so then you don't lose money because elephant pets themselves might never get fixed, but this is like a core crafting material, you know? It's like it's better to invest in, say, iron blocks rather than warden helmets because there's more potential use for iron blocks rather than just warden helmets, you know? Tree capitators, they are crafting price for money's sake. Yeah, if they cost the same as crafting, then why wouldn't you just buy the crafting materials? Because then you can either make them into tree capitators, or they release a new update that also uses obsidian, and so then there's more use. So that's the thing. You always want to buy the crafting materials, not the item, if you can. Elephant is from Moringo. It's both. Elephant, or what uses acacia then if it doesn't need? No, I mean you have to buy it with. You buy it from Moringo with acacia wood, I think is what it was. Or maybe it is an elephant. Oh no, so it's dark oak wood. Okay. My bad. There is one that uses acacia though. Let's check what that was, because do I even have acacia unlocked? I don't. It is not. Okay, so my bad. That is not actually this one. So acacia is just it has no use right now in the game, which is, I guess, my main point for investing in it originally, is that there's actually no use besides the wood catalyst. No, not the wood catalyst. The wood singularity. Yeah. But that's kind of a done thing. So I think if they rework foraging, there's a good chance they add a new recipe to that. Ocelot. Ocelot is this. Okay. Wait, what? Ocelot is jungle? Yeah, Ocelot's jungle. Giraffe is completely useless though. Not elephant. What am I thinking? Giraffe. Yeah, why did I say elephant? Giraffe pet. Giraffe pet Hypixel. Alright. Bought from Moringo. And it's acacia wood. Okay, that's what I meant. It is just normal. It is enchanted acacia, right? Yeah, 512 enchanted acacia wood. Okay, so I was right on that. It was giraffe pet though, not elephant. Giraffe is the completely useless one. Okay, good. I'm not completely crazy. Yeah, giraffe is from Ringo, but it also takes 512 enchanted acacia wood to buy. So that's kind of my point with that. Okay, for anyone new that's in the stream, I guess we can go over the main things that I haven't like made big videos on, I guess, from this stream. Smite, pretty good potential investment for the Nether update because it increases damage to zombie pigmen. This one is a maybe because, again, it doesn't increase damage to blazes or ghasts. So if blazes or ghasts are a big part of it, then smite's going to be useless and you'll just want sharpness. So potential, but maybe not. So I bought a couple because it's only like 1.2 mil right now, but don't put all your money in it for sure. Next thing, fire protection 6. It would be a big oversight if they didn't add fire protection being useful in some way in the Nether update. Don't buy fire protection 7 because it's overpriced right now, but you can get fire protection 6 for like 100 to 200k usually. I just bought a ton for 100k earlier, so it's very possible. Just wait a couple days and you'll be able to get some. Next item, blaze pets, epic blaze pets. The more that, do you think quartz goes up? I think quartz will go up in the Nether update. Yeah, I think it will. Blaze pets. The more that blaze rods go up in price, the more confident I am that epic blaze pets will be good investment. Because right now it's 27 mil worth of blaze rods to craft a single pet. And blaze pets you can get for like 7 mil on the auction house. So it's way cheaper than you could craft them for. And that's due to a oversupply right now, but if they're useful, these are going to go up to probably at least half of craft price, which is 13, 14 mil, which is like double of what they are now. So still invest in acacia or not? Yeah, I like acacia, but don't put a ton of money into it because I don't know if they're going to do this for a while. I mean, you can see I only put, 60 mil into it, and I have like 4 bill invested, so that's like that's like barely 1% of my money. So it's not my most confident thing, but I think there's a decent chance. Enchanted grilled pork. I think there's a good chance this gets, there's very likely it goes up when Technoblade comes back, when they re-add his item somehow, which Art of Wars and stuff will come back eventually. They're not in any way going to add items that are useful like that never come back to the game. It's like thinking they're never going to re-add vicious books or something. They'll always come back, even if it's a special mayor. But also, because when the Nether update comes out, Silk Edge swords and leaping swords are going to be broken, I'm sure, or very likely, because they never fixed these. They were broken for Floor 6 release, broken for 4.5, broken for Master Mode, broken for mythological creatures. So they're probably going to nerf it a little after update, but as long as you sell them pretty shortly after the update, they're probably going to go up in price. Because, again, you can perma-stun stuff with it. So it's not guaranteed, but the thing is these are already pretty cheap right now. So if you buy it now and they're not useful, like they only are bosses and you can't stun them, you can sell them for what you paid. So that's kind of the point for that. And you can indirectly buy it by just buying pork, because then you can craft it into you can use the pork to craft it into leaping swords. Next thing is slime blocks. The whole point with slime blocks is, again, very useless. And my main thing with the slime blocks is stuff like the slime bow. Not this maxed of a bow, but I think they're probably going to add either more magma cubes, more magma boss types, something along those lines in the Nether update. I think that's very likely that they're going to do that in the future. So I would invest in slime blocks because they might not be a bow, but I think there's definitely either a slime slayer in the future that isn't part of the Nether update that's just a slime slayer, or they're going to be using the Nether update against magma cubes. Because if you look at the description, 5 times damage to magma cubes and magma slimes, and magma bosses as well. But enchanted grilled pork, 150 to 180k. Don't spend more than 180k right now because the update's still a long ways off. Swarm is another one of the, right when the update comes out, these are going to go up in price, mostly because there's not a high supply of these. So Swarm books are pretty good because they're definitely going to be the best enchantment at release. because they're just the best in general, except for Ultimate Wise maybe. Those are kind of the things that are always good to invest in. Like, it's always good to have. Here, I'll show you the ones that are always good investments for updates. Like, they make money every time. So, Necromancer Brooches. These are almost not even worth bothering with, though, because they're so cheap. They usually are 50k, like 30 to 50k, and when an update comes out, almost every update in the past has needed necrotic on stuff, and they'll go up to like 200 or 300k for a little bit. It's hard to make a ton of money because, you know, an entire auction house full of these is only like a mil profit. But I'm just going to go over the things that always make money. Dragon horns, or it is the horn, right? Claw, sorry. Dragon claws, under 1.5 mil, unless they add another amazing reforge, pretty much always will profit. Don't put too much money in these because they might add a new update, new reforge, but pretty much anytime these are under like 1.5 mil, if you get a couple around 1.1, 1.2, eventually they'll go up in price, and they're definitely going to add a new armor. So again, on that same thing, precursor gear for the new update. It's definitely going to be the best armor reforge, so it's worth buying a couple of these. I'm buying these because I didn't invest in them before, like off camera, so I actually need to do it now. That's easy. Because again, they're adding new top gear, and they're not going to try and replace Ancient because people work so hard in dungeons to get like high catacombs level. So Ancient's going to be the best as well. So worth buying a couple of those. Ghast armor, probably. Ghast tiers are worth investing in. I'm just going through everything right quickly. Digestive Mosquito. This is not for the Nether update. This is more based on what we were talking about with them adding item sinks to stuff. Right now, Spider Slayer is pretty much useless, and I'm fairly confident they're going to add another use to Tarantula, the Digestive Mosquito, like how they did for the Scythe Blades. Probably be a talisman, just like the Scythe Blade. No guarantee on that, but I think it's very likely. I mean, again, I'm not just talking. These are all things that, like, you see, I bought a ton of them because I think there's a very good chance that they'll be used in some way. Maybe new Slayer. I think they will. Maybe not a whole new Slayer, but I think they're likely to add a Slime Slayer or a Pigment Slayer. Maybe even Blaze, but probably not. My current Bazaar investments. So for Bazaar investments, I don't have a ton of Bazaar investments right now. This stuff that's actually investments, I have a buy for these, but none of this is filled. So things that I currently have filled orders of, Enchanted Obsidian. I've overpaid for this so much. Like, the price is so cheap now. I think that's a good investment. A ton of Magma Cream. I've got 180,000 Magma Cream, which is like 200 mil. Enchanted Grilled Pork. I'm going to refresh that. I mean, actually, I can just go over the spreadsheet, all right? Because not all the investments are sitting here. So let's go over the spreadsheet, guys. Let's look what I'm invested in. Specific window. So Skyblock Stock Exchange. Let's go over it. So I have almost 10,000 enchanted slime blocks, which is over 1 billion coins of enchanted slime blocks. I really like that item. I think it'll be a like similar to how Quartz exploded when the end update was released for Enderman Slayer. If there's an update, there's a chance this never gets used and it goes down a little bit to NPC value and I lose a little money. But if it works, it's going to be a huge profit. Next things that I have actual money in, I have Enchanted Magma Cream. I have 180,000 of that. I have almost 100 Blaze Pets. That's not really a Bazaar investment, but I'm just going to go over it here. I have 2,000 Emerald Blocks because Emerald Blocks are around NPC value right now. There's a high chance they'll get used sometime in the future. Again, Obsidian, I already went over that. Grilled Pork. Netherrack, I actually need to update that. I do not have Netherrack anymore. I sold that just because I was running out of room here. I still think it's a good investment, but you're not going to make a ton of money from it. So here, I'll put another order at 25 mil, I guess. Your Skycrypt, I'm Cat0 with F7. So I got skill wiped a while ago. If you're wondering, I am not, I was never I didn't get all my money with 18.2 skill average. I was actually like 45 or no, 42 skill average. I had like combat 55. I had foraging 50. And I got false skill wiped quite a few months ago before I did YouTube or anything. So I had no real chance of getting unwiped. My forum post got, I think, 200 likes, 0 dislikes, 0 people disagreed with it, and then I just got the standard response back. So I don't really care anymore. It inspired me to stop sweating skills and start doing stuff I really enjoy, which is investing in the Skyblock like stock exchange. And I made that whole project after I got wiped, and it's been fun after that. Because I didn't lose my items, I just lost my skills. But anyway, am I selling any 100? No, I actually don't have any level 100 blaze pets. I sold them all when the first teasers came out. I don't know if that was a good idea because they're still super expensive. I sold them for like 70 mil. Damn, they're still 93 mil. That's crazy. That is so crazy. Okay. If I were you guys, I would level up blaze pets through combat XP because you can buy that for not. You make 60 mil just from upgrading it. That's crazy. That's over 1 coin per combat XP. Right? Because it's 60 mil for 25 mil. That's like 2 coins per combat XP. So every time you kill a ghost with a blaze pet, you're making like 200 coins just from the combat XP alone. That's crazy. The exchange is more interesting than grinding skills. It is. It really is. Especially because I've already done the skill grind bit. Like grinding skills is an essential thing. Like that's fun at some points, but not to like hyper maxing. I'm glad that I wasn't hyper maxed. I was never like skill average 55. I was like 43 or 2. I maxed everything useful though. I was like really high combat, foraging 50, mining 52, I think. What else? Taming 50. I don't know. Doesn't really matter anymore. It's been so long now. Am I taking money again? I am not for the exchange. Only 57 people here. Any high level epic ones? No. So the whole point of why I'm doing the low level epics is they're the best deal. I wouldn't. Riskier. I don't like gems because I feel like they're kind of gonna leave the mining stuff alone. They haven't really added any mining recipes. Like they've never added stuff that's needed titanium or any of the dwarven mine materials anywhere outside of the dwarven mines. So I feel like they might never add that. Do I think Pigment Slayer or Blaze Slayer is coming out? Yeah, I think so. I think they will do something along those lines. I don't know what though, so I would hold off on investing in specific items for that right now. This is not filled. I bet I didn't get a single gas tier 2. Yep, not one of those. I got a single one of those. Yeah, it's the problem with buying stuff on stream. Nothing fills. Okay. I'll just do 10,000, I guess. Pork on. I'm just resetting these orders real quick. Okay. So back to where we were. Got 53 people. Nice. Enderman Slayer needed mithril and titanium. Oh, I guess it does. You're right. So there's a chance. I don't think it's a big enough chance to bother doing, though. I think it's better to invest in the base things like coal, iron, gold. Gold's going back up a little bit slowly. Lapis, glowstone, which this already went up. Quartz. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to put up an order for quartz, too. But anyway, so that's the thing with those. Like, you never know exactly what's going to happen for the update, but it's good to be kind of diversified between them all. Although most of my items are actually in blaze or slime blocks. It's my favorite investment. I think there's such low supply that if they add it, the price is going to skyrocket. So we'll see though. You need help with F5? No, I'm all right. And again, for the person that asked, it's because I got skill wiped. So I have completed floor 7. Like I can use the armor and stuff. But cat is 0. I think I'm fully cat 0, right? I haven't done a single one after that. Yeah, I haven't done a single. Nice. I actually got fishing 4, I think, from presents. I was trying to keep everything as low as I could. This was from presents. This is just because I needed a couple enchants unlocked. Foraging, again, from presents. I want to keep everything as low as I could, and then just get combat from my tarantula minions, which is actually what I have. So my combat 33 or 4 right now is just from my tarantula minions, which is kind of crazy. Oh, you guys never... So I made a whole video on that I got skill up a while ago, or I made a couple of them. It was during Jerry, and I was at my parents' house, and I'd set up my Oculus in the living room. Like, it was in the kitchen area, and like my computer was in the middle of the living room. And so during Jerry, I set up a thing where all I had to do was right click. It was actually in this area, and it had like a little water stream thing. All I had to do was right click with an explosive bow every once in a while, and it would blow up a ton of slimes and get a ton of kills and they would spawn Jerry's all the time. And so I just like, and I was farming kills for the Blood God crests. I had like 60 of them. Maybe more actually. And I did that for like 10 hours. So I did that all night, and in the morning, I was like half asleep and just right clicking, and I looked up, and I realized I was still farming. So then I went over and made breakfast, but like my mouse, I'll link the video that I made on it and like the whole situation, because I'm still trying to think about investments right now. So I'm kind of getting lost in my words. Let's see, where was it? It's in my Who Am I video. Seems to be a while ago. Where's that? Yeah, I guess it's kind of hard to see. My favorite money making methods. Yeah, where was that? A long time ago. Unless my thumbnail changed. Huh. I do not see it. I'll link it. I'll link it afterwards. Here's the original video I made on it though, like day that happened. But this isn't my like recent video, I guess. All right, so there's that. That was my original video. Face reveal, I guess, too, but whatever. But yeah. How much do I make from these? So I'm supposed to AFK them. I haven't been, but it makes like 7 mil a day or something. Yeah, you just AFK, you hold something with telekinesis. Spider pet on. It's pretty good. I do have hamster wheels and everything. Was it a false swipe? It was, but it's been so long that it doesn't really matter anymore. It was good in the long term because it got me to do investing instead of just skill grinding. Yeah. So as a summary then, I'm gonna actually make the video on this because I don't think that there are too many items that we all thought of since we've been streaming that I could have missed here. But basically, for those that are in stream that want to get a head start on the main ideas of the video, fire protection, it would be a waste if they didn't add it to be useful during the Nether update. Don't pay more than 200k for these though, because the update's a long ways away. That's what they're supposed to be valued at. So if you pay more, then you're getting manipulated. So fire protection 6, fire protection 7 is good if it isn't more than 10 mil, but it already is more than 10 mil right now. Epic blaze pets, always good if you can get them pretty cheap. Enchanted grilled pork because it's used for leaping swords, which will be able to cheese the update at release. And then also Technoblade. Slime blocks, again, it's going to be pretty good for the update. If they add something for like a magma boss rework, or eventually they're going to add a slime slayer of some kind. I can almost guarantee that. And it's, in my opinion, sooner than, say, like the Prismarine or Acacia Bow or Savannah Bow. I feel like those have less use in the near term. Swarm books, again, good on update. Speaking of that, I'll grab the things that I put in here that are good on update, which is Dragon Claws and Precursor Eyes. Precursor gear is definitely going to be good on update, which actually, if they're not more expensive, yep, they're still pretty cheap. I'm going to buy some more because I don't want to make a video on this and not be able to buy any afterwards. They're definitely going to go up when the update releases. So that. I'm probably overpaying in the short term. Like, these will probably go down in the next couple days, and I'm going to stream after I make the video. I'm just going to pause for a second. We're going to upload this, and then if you guys want to do something specific after this, like some flipping or anything, then we can do that. Throw that in one of my investing chests. All right. I'm not sure where all my Dragon Claws went. I had a couple. They're there. Okay. Yo, Yudo. Welcome. Can you put money in the fund? Sadly not. The fund is closed for new investors, and it's semi-closed for old investors with how slow I've been at getting on recently. But either way, I'm going to pause the stream for right now. I'm going to make the video on this, on the stuff that I already went over just now with you guys on stream. And then I'll start it again, and we'll do some more specific grinding. But yeah, thanks for coming, guys. Don't do it, but invest in One for All. No, One for All is the opposite. I think investing in enchanted books is a better thing because that's why I have all of these. And I've invested in most of the books, like Giant Killer 6s, Power 6s, because One for All is getting nerfed on 1.0 release, and all of these are going to be more useful. So that's why I have all the books here. Do I still have stuff in these? No. Yeah, they're almost guaranteed to be useful at the time of release. Especially stuff like Critical 6, Lethality, Vampirism. Probably Vampirism will be one of the better ones. But anyway. See you guys. I'll pick the stream back up in probably 10 minutes or so. But yeah. Take care.